Hi everyone, welcome to One Pot Meals with Kate. That's me. Do you ever have one of those days where you just don't feel like cooking when you get home? I'm having one of those days. I just want to relax, have popcorn, and watch a movie. So today, we're making popcorn. We picked up a great Pennsylvania Dutch popping corn from the Champaign Farmers Market, and we've been eating popcorn like it's going out of style. Now the key to a great homemade popcorn is having the best popcorn maker. Now we don't air pop, we don't use the microwave. My favorite popcorn machine is...
Ba-da-da-da!
Joe!
The real talent has arrived. Out of my way. Go sit down.
Oh dear. Well, clearly Joe's taking over, but he's going to show us how to make his awesome popcorn. I hope you like it, because I love it.
Now, I've perfected the art of popcorn because the love of my life loves popcorn so much. But of course, I love my own popcorn. So, here's how I do it. Use the stove, hot oil, pop the kernels, and you're good to go. So first ingredient, popcorn. This is actually a butter popcorn, so it has a little butter flavor to it. It's just the way it's grown, and it has this organic butter flavor. It's awesome. Next, coconut oil. I like to use a lot of oil. Kate has me taking the oil back because this is starting to get a little too big, but coconut oil, and that's it. Just a little sprinkle of salt at the end, and let's get started.
Oh, I will say, Joe makes awesome kettle corn too when I have my sweet cravings. Oh, that's good.
Kettle corn is a trickier subject. If you guys like this video, I'll teach you how to make kettle corn at home. It's actually very easy, but you have to be very careful. All right, first thing, talent, could you please turn on the vent? There is a lot of smoke, so make sure you turn the vent on. You can actually use... Okay, I'm gonna turn this on. I don't have any oil in there yet. I'm just gonna start heating up the pan. The coconut oil, this is my favorite way to do popcorn. It gives it a slight coconut flavor. It's absolutely delicious. If you don't have coconut oil or you don't like it, you can use olive oil. Just be careful. You can't get the pan too hot. Corn oil will work. I'm not a big fan of corn oil, so it's either olive oil or coconut for me. All right, first step is oil. I don't measure anything. I go all by looks. So I try to put in enough to cover the whole bottom of the pan. And yes, a spoonful for me is a tiny bit. Towel so I don't burn myself. Make sure it doesn't catch on fire. Okay, so swirl the oil around, just make sure you're coating the bottom. This looks pretty good. As this is heating, the next step, I always take a single kernel, stick it in the middle of the pan, cover it, and wait for it to pop. Now on this stove, in terms of heat, I do high heat, as high as it'll go. I've done it on some other stoves where they get way too hot at high, so you kind of have to play around with it. The secret here is you want as much heat as possible without burning the corn. So there's a fine balance, and you may need to make a pot or two before you find that right spot. I'm ready. Waiting on the pot. After this little guy pops, I'm going to show you a little secret to try and keep all of your kernels popping around the same time, so you don't get too many left at the bottom of your bowl.
Which would be tragic.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, here's what I do. Turn heat off. Move the pan off of the heat. Take the lid off. Pour your kernels in. Oh, it's like Kate and her pepper. Okay, let me distribute them around. You want to try and get oil on all of your kernels. Get a nice even layer. You do not want corn stacked up on one another. All the corn should be touching the bottom of your bowl or pot. Now the secret is, let this off the heat for about 30 seconds. All the kernels in there are going to get to the same temperature when you put them back on the heat. So the theory is that all the kernels should start popping around the same time, and you're going to get fewer unpopped kernels at the bottom of your bowl, which is what we're aiming for. Okay, heat back on. Highest it'll go. Right over there. Another thing I don't do is, I know people will like to shake while this is going. I don't shake at all. I let everything sit. Once it starts to pop, I will vent the lid to let the steam out and just let it do its thing. Alright, these are starting to pop. Now, when you're popping corn in something like this, you want a decent sized pot. If you get something that's it's wide but it's not tall, the corn is going to overflow and actually lift the lid off of there. If you get something that's too tall and too narrow, you're not going to get very much popcorn. So you have to find just the right thing with a good ratio of, area on the bottom and height. Done to that. And again, don't forget to put the fan on. Alright, these are starting to slow down. I like to wait until they're all popped. So you need to listen to how far apart each pop is. Again, it's a fine balance of not burning the corn, but keeping it on the heat to pop as many kernels as possible. Alright, we're getting close. Okay, lid off.
I usually help with this part, but not today.
And we have some beautiful white popping corn. All I do is season to taste with salt. I don't like to over salt my popcorn. Give it a nice little tap to distribute the salt, and perfect. It's light, crispy, little hint of coconut flavor, and just the right level of salt. Have a great movie night. We're gonna go watch our movie now before this gets cold. Bye guys.